Welcome to this presentation. Today, I'm going to share a tale that few have ever heard. It's the story of an empire that dominated for over 6 centuries, spanning 3 continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa. A saga of sultans, soldiers, grand palaces, treachery, romance, and sacrifice. This is the authentic history of the Ottoman Empire. You don't need to be a history buff or fluent in English to enjoy this. I'll narrate this tale in clear, heartfelt, and compelling English so you can savor the journey while enhancing your language skills. As you follow along, you'll pick up new vocabulary, grasp how stories are crafted in English, and connect with one of humanity's grandest empires. The dawn of an empire. Let's travel back over 700 years to 1299 to a region called Anatolia, now known as Turkey. Back then, it wasn't a unified nation but a fractured land of warring tribes, petty chieftains, and constant conflict. The world was perilous, with people living in fear and cities under siege. The Byzantine Empire was crumbling. The once mighty Seljuk Empire had fallen apart. From the east, Mongol invaders had swept through, leaving destruction in their wake. There was no stability, no strong ruler, no protector for the people. Amid this turmoil, a small tribe emerged. It had no vast army, no wealth, no influence, just a leader with a vision. His name was Osman, a man who wasn't a king or wealthy, but led a modest band of warriors with a bold ambition to create a safe, proud, and resilient homeland. Who was Osman? Osman was born around 1258, the son of Ertugrul, a revered tribal chief. Ertugrul instilled in him values of honor, bravery, and faith. After his father's death, Osman became the leader of the Kei tribe, living near the borders of the declining Byzantine Empire, a Christian power that had once ruled vast territories but was now weakened. Osman saw a chance to build something new. He dreamed of an empire rooted in Islam, one that would protect the vulnerable, unite Turkish tribes, and uphold justice. The empire's beginnings. Osman began by capturing small Byzantine outposts, avoiding major cities and focusing on steady victories. Each success drew more followers, warriors, farmers, and believers who joined not for riches but for a shared purpose. They saw Osman as a divinely chosen leader for a new era. He didn't crown himself king but took the title Bey, meaning a leader of the people. His small tribe grew stronger, attracting other tribes. In 1299, Osman made a monumental choice. He declared independence, proclaiming, "We are free from the Seljuks and Mongols. This is the Ottoman state, our land." Thus, the Ottoman Empire was born, its name derived from Osman, pronounced Ottoman in the West. This moment was pivotal, not because of arms or wealth, but due to vision, unity, and belief. Though Osman didn't live to see his empire's full glory, his son Orhan carried the dream forward. From tribe to kingdom. After Osman's death, Orhan took the helm. He wasn't just a fighter, he was a visionary and architect of greatness. Orhan looked at his father's legacy and declared, "This is only the beginning. We must build an empire the world will remember forever." His first ambition was to seize a wealthy, fortified city beyond small outposts. He targeted Bursa, a prosperous Byzantine city with strong defenses and a thriving trade hub. Orhan didn't act rashly. He encircled the city for years, cutting off supplies, forging alliances, and biding his time like a patient predator. In 1326, Bursa surrendered. This triumph transformed everything. Bursa became the Ottoman Empire's first true capital, elevating the tribe into a kingdom with wealth and influence. In Bursa, Orhan constructed mosques, schools, marketplaces, and grand residences, signaling to the world, "We are not just warriors, we are creators of a new civilization." To expand further, Orhan knew he needed more than just troops. He established a system that strengthened the Ottomans like never before. A disciplined army, including the Yaya and later the elite Janissaries, more on them later. A just tax system where people paid but received protection, infrastructure, and fairness in return. Religious tolerance, allowing Christians and Jews to practice their faiths under Ottoman rule. Education and law, with madrasas, Islamic schools, trained judges, and support for scholars. This system fostered safety, encouraging people to join rather than flee. In 1331, Orhan captured Nicaea, another key Byzantine city. Each victory brought more territory and followers, catching the world's attention. The Byzantines were stunned, European Christians grew anxious, and even the Mongols took notice. Yet Orhan remained humble, using titles like Bey or Ghazi, Islamic warrior, rather than sultan. Meanwhile, his son Suleiman Pasha crossed into Europe, into Thrace, modern-day Greece and Bulgaria, not through conquest but by aiding a Byzantine prince in a civil war, gaining land in return. This quiet step marked the start of Ottoman expansion into Europe, a move that would reshape history. Orhan's legacy. Orhan ruled for roughly 35 years, leaving behind a thriving capital, a robust army, a growing empire, a system of justice, and territory in both Asia and Europe. From Osman's vision, he forged something solid and poised for greatness. But the next era would achieve even more remarkable feats. The rise of the Sultanate. With Orhan gone, the empire was just beginning. It now had Bursa, a system of governance, lands in 2 continents, and widespread respect. What it needed next was a true sultan to elevate it further. Enter Murad I, Orhan's son. Quiet, calculated, and strategic, Murad was not flamboyant but formidable. In 1362, he became ruler, boldly taking the title Sultan, signifying both earthly and spiritual authority. This declared the Ottomans a royal empire, no longer just a tribe. Murad saw Bursa's distance from Europe as a limitation, so he captured Edirne, Adrianople, a proud Byzantine city. It became the empire's second capital and its first in Europe, a base for expansion into Greece, Bulgaria, and Serbia. Edirne flourished with mosques, bustling markets, and a visible Ottoman presence. Murad also formed the Janissaries, a legendary military force. These weren't ordinary soldiers but elite warriors trained from youth, fiercely loyal to the Sultan. Through the Devshirme system, Christian boys from conquered lands were raised in Islamic culture, educated, and trained in combat and leadership. Though controversial today, this system empowered these boys, many rising to high ranks. The Janissaries, free of personal ties, lived for the empire, becoming its military backbone for centuries. The battles unfold. With 2 capitals, Bursa and Edirne, a fair system of taxes and laws, religious tolerance, and the Janissaries, Murad's empire was ready to advance. The Balkans, Greece, Bulgaria, Serbia, Albania, were fragmented and weak. Murad swiftly captured cities like Plovdiv, Sofia, and Nis. Europeans were stunned, asking, "Who are these Turks?" The answer lay in their discipline, unity, and purpose. European alliances, backed by Hungary, Venice, and even the Pope, tried to resist, but Murad's forces were too swift and clever. The Battle of Kosovo. In 1389, the Battle of Kosovo marked a turning point. Murad's Ottomans faced a large Christian army led by Serbia's Prince Lazar. The clash was brutal, with heavy losses on both sides. The Ottomans emerged victorious, cementing their dominance in the Balkans. Tragically, Murad was killed, possibly by a deceptive enemy. His son Bayezid swiftly took power. Nicknamed Yildirim, lightning, for his rapid, devastating attacks, Bayezid expanded into Europe, confronting Hungary, Bulgaria, and even encircling Constantinople. The world began to fear the Ottomans might be unstoppable. The threat of Timur. As Bayezid neared his greatest triumph, a formidable foe emerged from the east, Timur, known as Tamerlane. A ruthless warlord from Central Asia, Timur had crushed Persia, razed Baghdad, and devastated India. Now, he targeted Anatolia. The conflict wasn't just about territory but pride. Bayezid's claim to the title Sultan of Rome clashed with Timur's ambitions. Their fiery exchanges escalated into war. In 1402, near Ankara, their armies clashed. Timur's cunning, using spies, sowing discord, and turning Bayezid's allies against him, led to Bayezid's defeat and capture. The mighty Sultan was humiliated, possibly caged, and died in captivity in 1403, plunging the empire into darkness. The Ottoman Interregnum. Bayezid's failure to name an heir sparked a civil war among his sons from 1403 to 1413, known as the Ottoman Interregnum. The empire teetered on collapse as enemies reclaimed territories. After a decade of strife, Mehmed I emerged victorious. Not a conqueror but a unifier, he defeated his brothers, repelled invasions, rebuilt cities, and restored order. Ruling from 1413 to 1421, Mehmed I saved the empire, setting the stage for its greatest triumph. The conquest of Constantinople. After Mehmed I's death, the empire was strong but faced one ultimate challenge: Constantinople, the Byzantine capital. A city of legend, built in 330 AD by Emperor Constantine, it was a fortress of unmatched strength, revered as the heart of the Eastern Roman Empire. Murad II, Mehmed I's son, maintained stability, but his son Mehmed II, who became Sultan at 19 in 1451, was driven by an obsession to conquer Constantinople. Despite skepticism, Mehmed was relentless, studying the city's defenses and declaring it his destiny. In 1453, Mehmed launched his assault. With a massive cannon, a fortress to choke off supplies, and an army of 80,000, he besieged the city. For 7 weeks, the Byzantines, led by Emperor Constantine XI, resisted fiercely. Mehmed's innovative tactics, like dragging ships over land, stunned his foes. On May 29, 1453, the final assault breached the walls, and Constantinople fell. Mehmed II, now 21, entered the city, sparing the Hagia Sophia and granting religious freedom. Renaming the city Istanbul, he transformed it into a global hub of culture, learning, and power. The Ottoman legacy. Under Mehmed II, the Ottoman Empire became a superpower, astonishing the world. Its blend of military might, cultural richness, and tolerance left a lasting mark on history. After Mehmed II, many great sultans would come: Suleiman the Magnificent, the Lawgiver; Selim the Grim, who took Egypt; Ahmed I, who built the famous Blue Mosque. But it was Mehmed who changed everything. His victory ended the Byzantine Empire forever. It marked the end of the Middle Ages and the start of a new world. The legacy of the Ottoman Empire lasted for more than 600 years. It ruled parts of Europe, Asia, and Africa. It gave the world art, science, architecture, and powerful leaders. It showed us that even a small tribe with faith, vision, and unity can change the course of history. Maybe you never knew this story before. Maybe this is your first time hearing about the Ottomans. But now you know. They were more than warriors. They were builders, dreamers, and leaders. They were not perfect, but they were powerful. And like the rise of their empire, you too can rise. Even if your life feels like a small tribe now, with discipline, faith, and courage, you can build your own empire. This wasn't just about kings or battles. It was about vision, faith, and never giving up. The Ottoman Empire teaches us something important: you don't need to be powerful to begin. But if you begin with purpose and belief, you can become powerful. Just like Osman had a dream, just like Mehmed had a mission, you too have something inside you. Maybe today you feel small. Maybe you think your English isn't strong. Maybe you think the world has forgotten you. But never forget this: empires rise from nothing. So can you. You didn't just watch a video today. You walked through history. You learned real English. You grew stronger. And that's something to be proud of. So now, hold your head high, speak with courage, and keep going forward, because your story is not over. In fact, it's just beginning. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for learning with me. And thank you for never giving up. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with the world. Because stories